Hello. Testing, testing. One, two, three. I'm going to. I just want to do a basic review of some Olympus IDs. I actually will do a little paid poll here. Let's see what I get. All right. Um. Anyways, I'm just gonna do a quick, I guess, review of these IDs, how they look, because I'm probably just gonna dispense them once they're available. Won't be until next week though, but that's also when the next part of the Kanto unlocks, so that's actually just gonna be perfect. I don't have a lot of bits and bots for either of them, but that's okay. We're in the new season, we'll fix that up. But as for how the IDs look, we got a preview of how they looked, and I want to see what I think of them, just reading it with their numbers. So let's see, +1, +1, +2, +5. That's incredible actually. I did not expect that. And of course, this is the clashable guard they both have. Well, I guess we'll just focus on the passes first. Now let's see. Alright, this is standard. The other Heisho IDs had this with their own death rate and their own special thing here for damage conditional, and ally with fast inflicts rupture, inflict 1 defense level. This is really good support as well for the other Heisho IDs. It seems like even though they're from different branches, they support each other really well. Now with this, coin power +1 for every 10. Some of this unit's poise potency and target's rupture potency max 2, so that's +2 coin power. That's wow. That's a very nice conditional. Of course, we get some nice poise count, some nice ruptures, some nice. If this unit has serpent arm, it inflicts more rupture. This is a pretty rupture negative skill, it looks like, but actually wait. Okay. This is just a serpent arm. This is a pretty poise negative skill, but you know that's all right. Or not poise negative, rupture negative. But as a rupture ID, there we go. Clash wind, inflict 2 rupture counts. Okay, another coin conditional. Once again, this is a pretty impressive roll actually. So this is already a 16 roller with no conditionals. So that's pretty good actually. That's really nice. I think, is that like average or something? I don't know, but it's pretty good. Plus it has the, once again, we got rupture count, poise count, we got coin power bonuses. So obviously you want to use this one with you want to use this one in a clash and get, the clash win. It has this pretty decent numbers too, so you'll probably get that clash win. But especially since it becomes rupture neutral here, but it also inflicts, it gets negative here, but it inflicts death rate venom, which, let's see here. Getting rupture triggered by a critical hit from the target. Lose 1 stack. When losing stacks due to this effect, gain offense level down or defense level down. Okay, so this doesn't, unlike the Mao branch Heisho, this doesn't seem to really be that helpful in maintaining poise count or rupture count. But it doesn't seem that bad, especially since the other two are very good at maintaining their own counts. They're exceptionally good at it, I must say. This is interesting though, because this is critical hit, so you really want a lot of poise. But let's see here again, with gain 3 poise and 2 poise count on base attack skill used to target as rupture, gain 5 poise. So you get a lot of poise and poise count from the skills, because the poise count. This one also consumes poise for a reuse coin, so that already just makes it way better. Of course, poise count. And here, do we get any poise counts? We do have poise count on the first coin. Use push button. Can flash go serpent arm on self. That's really nice actually, because Um, say if we have like here, gain 1 serpent arm. So I guess the ideal way to use this is to have 2 serpent arms, or to have 2 skill 3s. Oops, is to have 2 skill 3s and use them together, because then you'll gain plenty of serpent arm for more clash power. But again, with this kind of roll, it doesn't seem necessary. The roll is pretty high already. It's at 19, and there's the 2 coin power, so that makes it. I'm not thinking. And of course, 2 times per skill. That's incredible. So that's 5 coin. That's a 5 coin skill. But that's also on crit, so you have to get crit twice. But of course, you get plenty of poise count, so that should be. I imagine that's pretty easy to actually do. Let's see. Of course, there's some extra rupture counts. It's not all these skills so far seem pretty rupture negative, but again, the other Heisho IDs were really rupture positive, and that's incredible. Of course, the Clashable Guard, coin power +1, not a very strong Clashable Guard in my opinion. Of course, there's the other one is of course Gregor's, which I haven't looked at yet, but I'm pretty sure it's just the same based on the thingies, the teasers. But between these, I have to say, I think her kit's actually pretty nice. It's very nice support, decent damage, especially, not even just decent damage, it looks like really nice damage. So this is great. You might not be able to do this critical, or this, what is this conditional, super easily, but I bet you can do it. And of course this one should be easier, since it's just, you just need 20 poise, and at least 2 poise count, or actually 4 poise count, I think. So that way you can get the second reuse on the 4th coin. Of course, you could also go in with only 2 poise count and gain more poise count. Actually, yeah, you only need like you can go into this skill with like 2 poise count and get enough to make the conditional, I bet. As long as you have enough poise. Now let's see here, gain 3 serpent arm. Yeah, okay. Let's move on. Also, gotta say, wow, she just looks fantastic here. Snake arm Rhodian. Okay, Rosia looks great. Now let's see, Gregor. Snake Fang. Okay, this is kind of what we expected. More poise, potency, and counts. But, you know, that's what we expected. Serpent Arm. So this just seems like a carbon copy of her skill one. Serpent. This one's called Serpent Glit. This one's called Snake Fang. Okay, once again. Okay, this is a different. Deal at 5% damage before you serpent himself, so max. Okay. This unit reduce the target's death rate as you gain 1 pierce damage up next turn. So you killed in this encounter every turn. At combat start, apply 2 poise as substituting identity. Okay, yeah. Especially since there are, I think right now in the Kanto it's 7 IDs you can bring to any fight specifically, and of course there's backup for all 12 sinners. So I wonder if that means but he has so much HP, he has 200 HP. But I'm not really sure how that translates to how he's going to be used, but let's see. Okay, once again, yeah, it's the same kind of clashable guard. I think it actually has the same name too, but I'm not gonna check. Okay, this is what we expect. It's just a carbon copy, the same skill. It's actually the same, yeah, so the skill 1 and skill 3 are different. He actually gains a more even amount of offense level, I guess. Like, he gains +1 more here, +1 more here, but -1 here compared to Rhodium, so. But even then, it's still very good. Also, this is a single coin skill, may not get that much damage on it, but max 200% if it's used to deal +100%. So this looks like a easy +300% damage skill. Plus all these coin power conditionals, that's insane. So honestly, that's pretty good. That's incredible. Of course, reduced death rate venom. and inflicting Deathrite Venom. Does this rate Venom? Cannot gain. Okay, so ideally you get a crit, reduce all Deathrite Venom stacks in 1 coin, and then also inflict it on the secondary on hit effect. Because otherwise you won't be able to really get much out of this one. That's pretty good. This is pretty nice though. All around a decent ID. That's what I think. Now, what do I think about the rest of the
아침부터
Kanto?
모여서 연구시키는 거 하루 이틀은 좀 봐주면 안 되나?
Well, since we only have the beginning of it, also look, this is very nice. I love this. But looking through it, this was a pretty simple fight right here. I'll show you actually what team I used. I didn't really pay any attention to the support passives except this one. So I really went in here, you know, balls to the wall. No. Oh wait, I forgot. Keiko or Ponglu, that's what I used. Also, I really like this thing. Rental, I've never seen that before. I'm really happy with it because I got this Honglu. I never leveled him though because I never like went for building poise or anything like that. He's got a lot of skills. But yeah, and of course I have this one, but I have trouble using him because I'm kind of stupid sometimes. So it was really nice of them to give me all these different options, because of course I have my friends, but I also have the rentals, which is very nice, because getting options like this is just brilliant. But I ended up using this guy, since, of course, the hardest fight, which is against this guy here in Night Ambush 2, I'll play what the fight looked like for me at the end of my review. But he is pretty simple to beat. It's just, you know, he has some decently high clashes, but if you win all of them and let Honglu tank everything for a few turns, he should be effectively immortal while you know, your other sinners build up skills. I specifically went with this because, once again, Ishmael, her defensive stance, letting her just immediately take control of whatever clashes, no matter speed, is really nice because she's highly resilient and, of course, really tanky. That's kind of the point. So, of course, I was very happy to use her for that one. And I also chose Roshu as my first deployment, so she got a skill first, and so that way I could immediately go into skill 3 or maybe the counter. But I just wanted a good opening for this fight. This fight took me only like 3 tries, maybe more than what it took you, but it took me 3 tries. I had to refine the setup, so I went down to only 5 IDs. Also went with Dante. Oh, more. There's more. I only went with Dante for the answer. But as it stands so far, this is one really confusing layout. Like, it's just going all over the place. But as I went through it, there was one girl. Let me just find a picture of her. I gotta scroll up in my notes here. Yeah, she has like a Catherine smile, and I thought it was really cute. One of my friends described her as a Zichun Kathy hybrid, and I quite like that. Like, so this is great. Big fan. Big fan of all the characters, actually. They're very nice, they're sweet, and so far there's just been really good interactions and dynamics between them. Especially Honglu. It's always a challenge, I think, because for a Kanto, it's focusing mostly on one sinner. Other sinners get a little tidbits, same in the intervalos. But in a Kanto, they have to do a whole lot of development for one sinner very quickly. And in the case of Honglu, I think they actually nailed it. The development he goes through is nice, it's well paced, I think. and also it's actually quite fun. It's very interesting to learn about what happened to him in his childhood, and so far it seems like he's suffered a lot, even though despite that all he just has a very sunny disposition all the time and like doesn't care about his choices. Um, it's definitely obvious that he suffers a lot. What does the battle pass look like? I actually didn't get a good look at it. So I'm not buying it yet, but you know, everyone buys it eventually, right? But yeah, it looks like there's lots of XP. That's great. Lots of Season 6 Ego Shard crates. Ooh la la. And of course, Lunacy. So there's a lot. And of course, keep out. So I'm hoping, personally, that we get a Z-Tune announcer. But we may not. I don't really need to see all where the egos are. I don't really care. Because I'm going to buy it anyway, right? So it doesn't matter if it's free or not. 120 is the max level. That seems typical to me. Really? I can see this. Oh my gosh! I didn't expect that. No, I don't want to see it. Actually, isn't this just gonna be Honglu? This is just gonna be Honglu, right? I'm gonna tell my friends that. Yeah, there we go. That's fun. Of course, we also have Tears of the Tarnished Blood, which I actually can't see. I know I'm covering it. Hold on. Yep. Wait, where is it? Tears of the Tarnished Blood. That's a nice ego name. I like it. But I also can't select it and take a peek. Maybe it's not done yet. Maybe they're bug fixing. I don't know. But I have no problems with the ego coming out at the end. Nice guaranteed Deca extraction ticket. I know what I'm going to use that for once I get it. Obtain at Season 6. So there's a lot here, and obviously I'm a fan. So yeah, this seems like a good. All in all, this seems like a really good Kanto and season. Because we have a lot going on for us here. We have very nice. We have new IDs that are, I would say, are really nice. Obviously, they're not the strongest IDs, I think. They seem a little bit gimmicky, like, or no, not gimmicky, finicky to use. That's kind of their gimmick, to be finicky. But despite that, I don't think there's anything wrong with that, of course. And of course, they look fabulous. Just look at that. And of course, the new characters are very nice. But like Honglu's, obviously the spoilers for this video, I probably should have mentioned that first, considering I started talking about it earlier. But yes, there's spoilers, and one spoiler I'm going to share right now is that Honglu's betrothed, and she's a darling. Of course, I don't want Honglu to be with her, not because I want him to be with another sinner or to be with me, but just because I don't think he's ready for that. I don't think he's ready for such an intimate relationship, so while that's on the table for something that can happen, I also don't think he should ever pursue that until like Kanto 25 billion. Of course, we get to see this arena based on, I guess, the old, what's it called? H-Corp? Also, we got to see the other, a bunch of the other Heisho packs, which is really nice. I want a fucking Dragon Heisho pack ID. Like, that sounds awesome. And of course we have this, which I really appreciate. I didn't notice this the first time over. Oh, I'm such a big fan. Such a big fan. It's so nice. It's so nice. But yeah, I actually noticed immediately on one of the earlier ones that there were Heisho standing guard. It's actually, yeah, right there. You can see in the picture, there's a few right there. They look like Mao Branch, because it's pretty yellow tinted, and of course, they don't really have anything else going for them, so it just looks like this the yellow tinted like bunny ears they have. And just to show you what that looks like. Okay, Roshu's doesn't really show you. Yeah, right there. So it looks like that. Which of course I have no problem with. Even though it doesn't seem to actually be Mao Heisho, it just seems to be something completely different. As it stands, this Kanto, I'm enjoying it. Obviously, we're only first part of the way in, because, you know, gotta wait until it unlocks again.
Oh,
Oh, brilliant. Look at that. Anyways, let's see, actually, we're just gonna double check. 522, 522, 522, 522. Oh, 529, actually. That says 529. So, okay. That's the second week. Where's the third week? Obviously, we can predict, you know, third week unlocks. I mean, are we stupid? No, we're not. We can count, I think. Really? No third? Is this a 2-week Kanto? No, it is a 3-week Kanto. This is the first week. Then second week is the next part. Okay, so this is 3 weeks. I'm just fucking stupid. Yeah, as it stands, it's very nice. Big fan of how this is going. I don't really have much else to say, so I'm going to just show off all the IDs I have and the egos I have. I don't really have a lot. I only started playing December 7th of December 7th, 2024, obviously. Okay, there we go. So I don't have a lot, but I have been working hard on getting the IDs and egos I wanted. There's obviously plenty of more that I'm missing out on. Like, Season 4 especially opened up again, so there's plenty of IDs and egos that I wanted from there. And you know, I would say I'm decently excited for this, because there's, you know, obviously a lot of opportunity with the new IDs, of course, and there's IDs that are going to be new for me to really get into the nitty-gritty of playing. Yeah, I've got everything. Yeah, you see, there's barely anything here for me to get. Like, obviously there's the past stuff, but I don't really care about the past stuff. But this event stuff, like, these two IDs, I'll probably only focus on this one, and then of course that. And to be honest, I've never been interested in buying either of these, but who knows. And of course these two. I didn't get Gregor, but I do want these two. These are very nice. I love them. But yeah, so it really seems like there's only like 4 things from this that I really am going to go about my way to get. Of course, I didn't really care for either Gregor IDs. It's not that they suck or anything, it's just that for me, I don't need them. Everything I would need, because I don't really run burn. And of course, the priest of Lamachalon, if I needed him, which I don't, I get him. But like, this is my bleed team. I only had him here for something else. But normally I would go as via Association Sinclair. But here it's like I have bleed help for my bleed team. Someone to help with the bleed in case somebody, like say Ishmael, gets a bleed stack slowly. His passive will remove bleed count, so that's pretty nice of him. And of course, middle little brother, he's saying so he can help Roshu recover the 15 SP she loses, because she'll recover 10 SP on turn end, so she'll be at 40 again. And of course Gregor here, very nice Gregor for his HP heals 5, or HP ally heals 5 HP. And of course, naturally for a bleed team, you have your bleed IDs. Middle little brother helps the Kurokuma clan and manager of Lamachalon. Remember, the Lamachalon IDs build up SP relatively quickly. especially in the beginning. Uh, of course, especially also it's helpful against enemies with sinking because sometimes you'll have to take an unopposed attack or something like that. You make a mistake, the center loses a clash. So that's what my bleed team consists of. It's just basically SP healing, and of course, a little bit of HP healing and bleed count reduction. But of course, aside from that, I have really heavy hitters. And especially since Roshu can really easily recover her own SP with like various penitence effects and stuff, it's just really nice. Aside from that, I don't have a lot to say about my system.
나눠 먹는 건
I don't have a lot to say about what I'm doing in the game right now, aside from the fact that yes, I'm winning. I'm absolutely cracked, and I'm having a lot of fun playing the new Kanto. So I'm gonna have to edit this and include some bits that I talked about. Okay, bye bye.
숨통 끊기. 헤어내리. 대검 방어. 위험인물 발견. 제압할게요. 베어내리. 따뜻. 자! 대검 방어.
아, 바쁜데. 특별히 들어드릴게요.
베어내리.
자!
숨통 끊기. 대검 방어.
다음 세상으로 넘어가려면 참 여기구나.
좋아. 생동감이 살아있는 좋은 공간이 됐군. 다음 먹잇감도 이런 식이었으면 좋겠어.